I'm joined by Michael Clark, our defence analyst, for a close look at this. So, Michael, just tell us where we are with the fight for Ukraine at the moment as the Russian forces are arrayed in a number of points around the country.
Yes, I mean, the Russians began this with what I would call a plan B, which was to do it the way Western forces would have done it, with relatively light forces moving quite quickly from the border to surround key areas and moving quickly on Kiev, get rid of the government, declare themselves a new government, and that was all supposed to be done within 72 hours. Hasn't worked. They've made a big mess of it, and the Ukrainians have fought back ferociously. So now they've gone to plan A, which is what they know how to do, which is to move in more slowly with heavier armour, siege trains, as they say, down the Dnieper Valley, as you've pointed out there, in order to surround the big cities. And this has become a war of the cities. It's a north-south war at the moment, but it will revolve around the cities. The Ukrainians can't defend the whole country, so they defended the cities, and the Russians are now moving in on all of those cities.
And we'll focus in on some of the cities in more detail, Kherson, Kharkiv, and the latest news we've got of Mariupol in a moment. But Dnipro is interesting at the moment, isn't it, as well? Because the defender there, the Ukrainian armed forces commander, said something.
Dnipro is an area of about 3 million people. It's a big industrial area. There's about 1 million people in the city. And the leader of Dnipro, Mykola Lukashenko, has said that I've got 1 million people under arms. The Russians are 90 miles away. I will turn this into a new Stalingrad. And I believe him.
Well, that may well happen in the coming days. Let's take a close look at the fight for the south of the country, focusing in on the cities of Kherson, Odessa and Mariupol. Now, let's talk about Kherson to start with. Now, we understand that this city is still being contested by both Russian and, of course, Ukrainian forces. And also Mariupol in recent hours. We've seen the latest from the mayor there saying that the city is coming under heavy bombardment, constant bombardment, and they are running out of water as the Russian forces continue to attack.
Yes. I mean, two key places here. Kherson, where they're still fighting, a major city, and that, again, should have fallen quite quickly, but it didn't. The Russians are clearly trying to create a land corridor between the territories that they held in the Donbass through to Crimea, which was annexed in 2014. Mariupol, right on the edge of the disputed Donbass area, should have fallen within hours. We've been saying that for days now. And according to the Ukrainian government, they are still holding on in Mariupol. I don't know how they're doing it. They're coming under great pressure, but there's some sort of Alamo going on there. At some point, the Russians almost certainly will link up all of this southern area, and then they will start to push north up the Dnieper Valley to unite the north and south of the country, which they hope that they will have taken.
OK. Well, Michael, let's just take a quick look now, if we can, at Kharkiv, where we have seen some more heavy fighting. There has been Russian elements that we understand have airlifted into the city, of course, still being defended by the Ukrainians. There was that attack on Freedom Square yesterday as well. So we are seeing that this is under heavy contestation by both sides.
Yeah. Kharkiv, the second city, very important city too. And the Russians look as if they're now adopting their plan A, which is the way they always do these things, which is to surround the city, probably coming at it from the east, airborne drops, we think probably in the west. And they will sit outside the city, bombard the strategic centres as they see them. They won't worry too much about civilian casualties. And then they probably would start to bombard civilian areas in order to break the spirit of the civilians and then just move in. And what happens in Kharkiv in the next 2 or 3 days almost certainly will be what will happen in Kiev probably sometime next week.
OK, Michael Clark, for now, thank you very much.